I know he's been injured too, so.
Try to hit by hard. Hip all the way over.
Three-point near fall, Penn.
Top of the head, with your right hand on the top. Yeah. Squeeze the head up. You gotta lift the head up. Shoulder in his chest.
Keep it, Scott.
Just block the shoulder.
Scott, three. Keep wrestling. Out. Knees up.
Coach, the team had a very successful weekend at the NCAA Championships. Talk a little bit about the performance of the team and how you think it might carry over into this week of practice.
Well, the team wrestled very well for us, and I was very happy with most of the outcome of the tournament. And it was perfect timing for us to use that momentum to help us in these next 10 days prepare for NCAAs and what really lies ahead for us, the big picture. So, but couldn't ask for much more out of that weekend. Obviously, we want to win all 10 weight classes, but I believe we probably wrestled at or above most of our seeds, guys really performed well. I was real happy for them.
Talk a little bit about the Saturday. There was a lot of momentum, and then it kind of carried right over into Sunday morning. That first session of matches there, the guys started putting wins together one after another, and you could really kind of sense the team feeding off each other.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. Saturday was a great day for us. But when you have that day in between or that rest time, and overnight, and everybody can come back and start fresh the next day. You want to make sure that we don't lose too much, and we started off great and continued from how we wrestled on Saturday. So that was nice to see as well. You want to see that that attitude throughout the whole weekend, and the fact that we came back, like I said, and beat some guys that we previously lost to is key, because when you get to the NCAA tournament, you want to be able to do that. Everybody can wrestle good on one day, but we got to be able to do it for 2-3 days in a row. So it was good for most of the guys to go through that.
Two guys who weren't part of that early Sunday success were Scott Giffen and Micah Burek, because they were in the finals. Talk about just, what it was like. Unfortunately, they both lost, but having two finalists and in two different kind of stages of their career, a junior who's really kind of getting into his own of where a lot of people thought he was, and a freshman who wasn't maybe as heralded as other freshmen around the country, to kind of keep themselves in the front there of the conference.
They both wrestled, I felt very well in the finals. Scott has closed the gap on the number one ranked guy in the country, and to be honest with you, if Scott goes out and wins next weekend, everybody's going to remember that. They're not going to remember that he won the conference tournament, not an All-American at NCAA. So Micah, as far as being a freshman, he's a unique freshman. He's came in here 2 years out of high school, so and really that was one of the toughest weight classes I felt, and it's going to continue to be one of the toughest weight classes. All those guys in there, are young. They're freshmen and sophomores at 197, so it's important that he kind of makes his mark right now, and you saw what he did in the semis, and really in the finals, I believe he got taken down literally right off the whistle, and it ended up being a 3-1 match. So, if we end up wrestling that kid again, and be ready for ready off the start. So
sure. Micah, looking ahead, he's one of 4 first-time NCAA qualifiers for the program. With the 6 total guys going out to Omaha next week, what does it say about the team to kind of put together a lot of young guys helping to carry the load here, guys that aren't as experienced, between Micah and his brother Gabe and Brian Hortenzio and Zach Kemmerer. They're experienced wrestlers, but this is their first time heading to Omaha.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got to have a first time, and it's great that the young guys are here. Looking towards next year, it's going to be huge for us in the room. Just even starting preseason training, because now they know what to expect. Next year coming in. Right now they're kind of going in blind, and sometimes that's not a bad thing either. The issue is when you get caught up in all the hype and all the things going outside. We're just making sure that these guys can control what they can control and go forward. There's going to be a lot of emotion out there this weekend, and it's going to be exciting. The guys are excited. They're in a great mindset right now, and they're training hard. They're ready to go. So I'm real happy with kind of how the last 3 weeks have gone since the Lehigh match. The preparation since the Lehigh match and into the conference tournament's been phenomenal, and then the kids saw the results from that training at the conference tournament, and these 10 days right here are a little bit of just fine tuning right now. There's not much more that goes into it.
One wrestler who we haven't talked about yet, but has kind of come along right here at the end after a very tough season with injuries and things like that, is Cesar Grajales, one of your senior captains, who wrestled out of the 7th seed to a 3rd place finish at 149 pounds and has a 4th trip to the NCAAs coming up ahead of him. What's it been like to watch him go through everything this season and deal with the injury and kind of see that it's okay and he still can be one of the best guys in the country as he heads to his final NCAAs?
Yeah, and that's one of the things. Cesar is one of the best kids in the country, and you don't want to end your career out with an injury. You want to go out giving it all, and right now I was real pleased with the way he performed last weekend, and to give him another 10 days to get his strength back, get his confidence back, get his endurance back is going to be huge, because a lot of guys right now, it's a long year. With Cesar, he's really just starting to hit his stride right now, he's been cutting his weight right. He's eating right. He's training hard, and he hasn't worn himself down throughout the year. So I'm really excited to see what he can do this weekend or next weekend, and I tell you, he's right there, whether he's seated or unseated. And everybody, I think, knows it. So definitely looking forward to his first match, his first round.
All right. Well, thanks, Rob, and good luck on next weekend as the team heads to Omaha.
All right. Thanks, Jess.